Welcome to Stories for Sleep. I'm Mary, and I'll be your host for the night. Let's unwind and prepare for a restful slumber. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, releasing any tension from your body. Tonight's tale takes us to a beautiful beach where a group of friends embark on a challenge to build the world's biggest sandcastle. As the sun sets and the waves crash against the shore, the friends work tirelessly, driven by their determination to succeed. With each grain of sand, their castle grows taller and more magnificent, and their sense of accomplishment fills them with pride. As they stand before their masterpiece, admiring its intricate details and grandeur, the world around them fades away into a peaceful night. Allow this story to take you on a journey of friendship, hard work, and triumph. Drift off into a peaceful sleep, knowing that anything is possible with determination and the support of loved ones. In the far-off land where our story takes place, there was a stunning beach where the sand was as fine and soft as powdered sugar. Every summer, when the weather was warm and the ocean was calm, a group of friends would gather on this beach to indulge in their passion for building sandcastles. These friends had known each other since childhood, and every summer they would travel from all corners of the land to meet up on the beach. They came from different walks of life and had different interests, but they all shared a love of creating something beautiful out of nothing but sand and water. As soon as they arrived on the beach, the friends would waste no time getting to work. They would set up camp on the sand and unpack their buckets and shovels, eager to start building. They would take turns choosing the site for their sandcastle and would work tirelessly to create the most intricate and beautiful structure. Each friend had their own unique style of sandcastle building. One was a master of intricate details, carving out turrets and spires with astonishing precision. Another was an expert at building tunnels and secret passageways, creating a network of rooms inside the castle. Yet another friend was a wizard with water, creating moats and fountains that added a touch of magic to the sandcastle. Despite their different approaches, the friends all shared a healthy competitive spirit. They would challenge each other to build bigger and better sandcastles each year, always pushing themselves to the limit. And when they were finished, they would stand back and marvel at what they had created, admiring each other's handiwork and congratulating each other on a job well done. But as much as they enjoyed the competition, the friends also valued the camaraderie that came with building sandcastles together. They would chat and joke as they worked, exchanging ideas and tips on how to make their sandcastles even better. And as the sun began to set over the ocean, they would gather around a campfire and toast to another successful day on the beach. The friends knew that their sandcastles were fleeting, that they would be washed away by the tide as soon as the sun rose the next morning. But that didn't stop them from pouring their hearts and souls into each creation, knowing that the memories and friendships they created on the beach would last a lifetime. And so, year after year, the friends returned to the beach to indulge in their passion for sandcastle building. They never tired of the challenge, always finding new ways to push themselves and each other to greater heights. And even though they lived in different parts of the land and had busy lives outside of the beach, they always found a way to come together and create something magical out of nothing but sand and water. The sun was high in the sky, and the friends had been hard at work building their sandcastle for several hours. They had made great progress and were feeling proud of what they had accomplished so far. As they took a break to relax on the soft sand and sip cold drinks, one of the friends suddenly sat up, a look of excitement on his face. "I have an idea," he said, his eyes sparkling. "What if we tried to build the world's biggest sandcastle?" The other friends looked at him skeptically. "The world's biggest sandcastle?" one of them said. "That's impossible. No one has ever built a sandcastle that big before." But the first friend was undeterred. "Why not?" he said. "We have the skills, we have the tools, and we have the passion. I believe we can do it." The other friends were hesitant, but they couldn't deny the thrill of the challenge. They knew it would be no easy feat, but the idea of attempting to build the world's biggest sandcastle was too exciting to resist. And so, they set to work. They scouted the beach for the perfect spot to build their sandcastle, a place with lots of soft sand and plenty of room to work. They marked out the perimeter of the castle with sticks and string, making sure it was big enough to be worthy of the title of world's biggest sandcastle. As they dug and piled sand upon sand, they quickly realized the enormity of the task they had taken on. The amount of sand they needed was staggering, and the castle was so big that they couldn't reach the top without standing on ladders. But the friends were determined. They worked tirelessly, taking turns filling buckets and shoveling sand onto the growing mound. They carved out tunnels and arches, creating a labyrinth of rooms and passageways inside the castle. As the day wore on, the sun started to lower in the sky, casting long shadows on the beach. The friends had been working tirelessly for hours, filling bucket after bucket with sand and piling it higher and higher, trying to build the world's biggest sandcastle. Despite their exhaustion, the friends were determined to finish what they had started. The thought of giving up never crossed their minds. They knew that they had already come so far and that they couldn't let their hard work go to waste. As the sun began to set, they continued working, their hands moving quickly and efficiently as they built their sandcastle. They used ladders to reach the higher levels of the castle, and their shovels and buckets clattered as they dug deeper into the sand. The golden light of the setting sun cast a warm glow over the castle, giving it an almost magical quality. The friends worked in silence, each lost in their own thoughts as they focused on the task at hand. As the sky turned from pink to orange to purple, the friends could feel their energy waning. Their arms and legs ached, and their hands were blistered from all the digging and shoveling. But still, they kept going, driven by their determination and their love for building sandcastles. By the time the sun had dipped below the horizon, the friends had made incredible progress. The sandcastle was starting to take shape, its walls rising up high above the beach. The friends looked at their creation with a sense of awe and pride. As the last of the light faded from the sky, they finally decided to call it a day. They knew they needed rest if they were going to be able to finish the castle the next day. They gathered their tools and headed back to their beach house, their minds still filled with the image of the sandcastle standing tall against the sunset. As they fell asleep that night, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore outside, they dreamed of what the next day would bring. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were ready to take on the challenge. After all, they had already come so far. As they woke up the next morning, the sun was already shining bright in the sky. The friends got ready quickly, eager to get back to work on their sandcastle. They grabbed their shovels, buckets, and sunscreen and made their way back to the beach. When they arrived, they were delighted to see that their sandcastle had survived the night. It stood tall and proud, a testament to their hard work from the day before. They wasted no time in getting back to work, eager to make even more progress on their masterpiece. They worked in perfect harmony, each knowing their role and working together to build the castle. As the hours ticked by, the castle grew taller and more intricate. They added turrets and drawbridges, moats and towers. They sculpted sand dragons and knights, making the castle seem like something out of a fairy tale. The sun was beating down on them relentlessly, but they hardly noticed. They were completely absorbed in their work, and time seemed to fly by. Before they knew it, the sun was starting to set once again, and they had to make a decision. Should they stop working and enjoy the sunset, or should they keep going and try to finish the castle before nightfall? After a brief discussion, they decided to keep going. They were so close to finishing, and they didn't want to leave the castle half-built. As the sun started to set, the friends' hands moved faster and faster, each of them working with a fierce determination to finish the sandcastle before the last rays of sunlight disappeared. They worked in silence, their shovels and buckets clattering as they dug into the sand and sculpted it into intricate shapes. They climbed ladders to reach the highest parts of the castle, sweat pouring down their faces as they worked under the blazing sun. The sandcastle took on a life of its own as the hours flew by. The friends worked tirelessly, each adding their own unique touch to the castle. They created a moat around the castle, filling it with water and digging channels for it to flow through. They sculpted intricate arches and towers, adding a sense of grandeur to the castle. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the friends could feel their energy waning. Their arms and legs ached, and their hands were blistered from all the digging and shoveling, but still, they refused to give up. They knew they had come too far to stop now. Finally, after hours of hard work, they put the finishing touches on their sandcastle. They added flags to the turrets and decorated the castle with seashells and other treasures they had found on the beach. They stood back and admired their creation, amazed at what they had accomplished. The sandcastle towered high above the beach, an impressive sight that drew the attention of everyone around. People stopped to take pictures and marvel at its size and beauty. The friends were overjoyed at the response they received and felt a sense of pride in what they had achieved. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a warm orange glow across the beach, the friends finally stepped back from their creation. They looked at the sandcastle, towering high above the beach and stretching out as far as the eye could see. The castle was a magnificent feat of engineering, with turrets and towers rising up into the sky, walls stretching for miles, and a moat filled with shimmering water surrounding it all. The sandcastle was an incredible sight to behold, and the friends felt a sense of awe and pride wash over them. They couldn't believe what they had accomplished. All of their hard work had paid off, and they had created something truly remarkable. The sandcastle stood out on the beach, drawing the attention of everyone around. People stopped to take pictures and admire its size and beauty. Children ran around the castle, playing games and imagining themselves as knights defending the castle from dragons. As the friends looked at their creation, they couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and amazement. They had started the day as a group of friends, eager to build a sandcastle, but they had ended it as something more. They had become a team, working together to create something extraordinary. As the friends made their way back to their beach house that night, they were exhausted but elated. They were covered in sand and sweat, but they couldn't stop grinning. They knew that they had accomplished something truly special, something that they would never forget. As they walked, they talked excitedly about the sandcastle, reminiscing about the long hours they had spent working together. They laughed as they remembered the moments of frustration, the times when they had accidentally knocked over a tower or a wall, and the times when they had cheered each other on. They talked about the challenges they had faced, the problems they had solved, and the moments when they had almost given up. They talked about the moments when they had worked in silence, lost in concentration, and the moments when they had shared jokes and stories, laughing and teasing each other as they worked. As they walked, the friends knew that they had built something truly special. They had built the world's biggest sandcastle, and they had done it together. They knew that they would always cherish the memories of that day, the memories of working on the sandcastle with their closest friends. As they reached their beach house, they collapsed onto the porch, exhausted but happy. They looked out at the moonlit beach, and they knew that they had created something that would be remembered for years to come. They had built a sandcastle that was a symbol of their friendship, their hard work, and their determination. And they knew that, no matter where life took them, they would always remember that day, the day they had built the world's biggest sandcastle.